Holy shit. That's true. I have to push it in.
Welcome, friends, and thanks for choosing to hang out with us three knuckleheads once again this week.
If you're new here, we are Jim, Joe, and Steve, three guys who have been hanging out since we were all single, strapping young men well over 2 decades ago.
So now we're older with kids, slightly less cool, but with a lifetime of awesome stories to share.
Just like our loyal listeners have, we hope you'll enjoy the sitting around with your best friends kind of vibe. If you like listening to conversations with the depth of a kiddie pool and questionable styles of humor,
you might want to add us to your weekly listening.
If we entertain you during this episode, we invite you to listen to our episode 58, Best Bits of 2022.
Thanks for listening. Workplace Shenanigans, Nostradamus, and Steve's Perfect Sex Robot this week on
Jim, Joe, Steve Show.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Jim, Joe, Steve Show, where we think we're television stars now. My name's Joe.
I'm Jim.
And I am Hollywood Steve.
Hi, Hollywood Steve.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Oh, no.
Before we get into anything, I was listening to, I don't remember which episode it was, but I was listening to some of our older episodes. Mm-hmm. And Jim was telling a story about, he was at a party and he saw somebody and his first instinct was, that guy's a cop. Now, I feel like once you hit a certain age and you're not doing things that should make you scared of law enforcement anymore, like carrying around drugs, drinking underage, doing whatever you do, you shouldn't, like your instinct shouldn't be, hey, that guy's a fucking cop.
Well, who says I ever stopped that?
That is true. But I was thinking about it, like, and if somebody walked into a room, I wouldn't be like, oh, that guy's a cop.
You know what? I never think that somebody's a cop.
but Jim's like standing in the corner being all shady. That's a cop.
I mean, I wasn't standing in the corner, but it was a cookout, and the guy had on the khaki cop cargo shorts. You know, the ones that aren't like the baggy American Eagle ones, or
the ones that dads wear.
Right, they're creased ones. Then the belt. And then the shirt tucked in with the phone holder. And the phone holder was the dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
And I said, that guy's a cop. Sure enough.
Do you try to pick the jobs that other people do? And
I can pick out teachers.
You're like, oh, that guy. Because you hang out with all of them.
I know. Well, I can see a teacher from a mile away.
They smell like soup.
Short sleeve shirt, long sleeve shirt, and cardigan. Teachers.
Is that what it is?
Because they're always cold.
Yes, always cold. Yep.
I always see these things.
Always carrying around an apple.
Teachers walking and they walk like this, and then they with the keys jangling, and then they always have they do the like salad shake thing.
So are you seeing that these teachers represented this way in like TV shows, or is this in real life?
TikToks.
Okay.
Basically TikToks.
My whole life
considered
real life.
Yeah. Well, they make it is funny when you watch it and you realize that it is something that you've seen in your life. A teacher type person just walking around and dangling their cheese. They're
dangling their cheese. Just like they got all their cheese hanging out.
All their
just
cheese hanging out.
God,
and,
cheese is so noisy too.
It is. I was about to be like, what? Construction workers, 100%.
Oh, especially if they're mid-work.
Yeah, they got a hard hat on and
just
a safety vest.
And they'll talk about what they do for a living.
That construction.
Oh, yeah. Those classic
I do so
construction
so
workers.
much construction.
Today, I was sitting at my desk and I was typing, and I hear my boss go, "What the fuck?" And I was just like, "What the hell? What the hell is that?" And you know how, if you're familiar with office life, basically when anybody has like a food or anything like that for their lunches, or not their lunches, but just they have a work party or something like that, or birthday party, something like that. They put the leftover food in the break room, and it's kind of means
it's community pot.
Yeah, it's fair game. So my boss today went over and he got a salad from the cafeteria, and then he went over and put it on the counter and went over and washed his hands. And he was washing his hands and turned around,
So
and
it
his
was like
salad
free
was
salad.
gone. And somebody was walking down the
Somebody
aisle.
snaked the salad?
Yeah. Somebody took his salad and was walking down the aisle, and he was like, what the fuck? And then, of course, like my head pops up real quick because I'm like, what the hell is going on? My boss is
Not only did his head pop up, Steve popped up with his phone ready to
well, sir. and there he is yelling at this person trying to get his goddamn salad bag, and the person's like, "Oh, I thought it was up to grab," and it was like in like it was clearly his. Like he sat it down. It's in one of those bowls that you get or from any takeout place if you get a salad.
Like the plastic.
Yeah, the plastic square thing, and he just
it looks like it could have come from Lido's.
I mean, maybe, but who puts it there?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and he just fucking walked out, and I couldn't get over that.
But who's that hungry that they just take a random salad?
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
salad.
Dude, I will say, I don't know. We do this thing where they everybody, whoever's birthday's coming up, they buy a cake for someone. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Because you feel obligated to eat the cake even if you don't want it.
You do. You don't have to eat cake.
Well, most of the time I say no, or I don't even go. But somebody put the they took the cake, and it was like half the cake was left over, and they put it in the break room. And I swear to God, I went to go to the bathroom maybe 10 minutes later, and it was gone. Like, people were fucking animals.
People
It was
love free
28
cake.
days later in that motherfucker.
So there could not have been a better segue for a story I wanted to tell of something that happened yesterday than
nice
work
and fresh.
than work food. I make smoothies that I drink.
Of course you make it. Of course you do.
Of course, he's already told us.
Have I told you about it?
No, but people who drink smoothies a lot tell other people that they drink.
There's
smoothies.
some-
Okay, well maybe I've been making them for
CrossFit
years
people.
now, and I haven't told you guys, so suck it. so I make these things. I call them beet smoothies, but there's a lot of stuff in them.
Dwight Schrute.
But the beets take over the thing because they turn everything this magenta red.
Does it taste like beets?
No, it's got apples, bananas, spinach, lemon, plus tofu and flaxseed, like ground flax seeds for protein. So anyway, so I make these.
Put apple cider vinegar in it?
No, I drink that in the morning. Last time I made them was 2 weeks ago, and I left one in the refrigerator at work, and I totally forgot about it. And it was sitting in the door of the refrigerator. So I walk into work yesterday, and it's sitting at the desk right in front of the refrigerator on top of a paper towel, and it's like leaking. And I was like, shit, I totally forgot that thing was in there. It's been I guess fermenting and expanding, and it started leaking out of the threaded part. It's in one of those shaker bottles, that have the compression top, and you screw that thing on, and that compression top is on there pretty solid. So it's leaking out of the threaded part of the top. And I was gonna go dump it out, and I was like, you know what? I'll just dump it out at home. It might be a little smelly. I don't want to dump it out at work. So I just twisted the.
You mean your beet drink isn't good? It smells good?
I mean,
2
it smells
weeks
great
later?
when it's fresh, not 2 weeks later. So I screwed the lid on tight so it would stop leaking, and set it on the desk catty cornered to mine behind me. This is in the morning, at about 5:30, when there's me and one other guy left in my office, and I'm just sitting there banging away on the keyboard. A gunshot goes off behind me, and all of a sudden something is raining down on me.
Shut the fuck up.
And I thought it was a light bulb. I thought one of those big incandescent bulbs popped and it was falling down. But I wasn't hearing the ting 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 of what glass would be falling. And I realized
This scary thought it's underwater.
I'm covered in red spots, and there's red spots falling from everything. We have 13 or 14 foot ceilings in my office, and it looks like somebody took a wad of red toilet paper and threw it as hard as they could against the ceiling. The velocity that this beet smoothie left this can
Why did it do that?
So when I took it out of the refrigerator, it started warming up, and as it warmed up, it started expanding even faster.
That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't expand when it freezes, it expands, right?
No,
Maybe the gas is starting.
it's
bubbling.
Beet
the
gas.
Yeah, the gases. Yeah, as that became room
That's what
temperature,
it does in your stomach.
it's exactly what it does. So this thing, I mean, it hits the ceiling and it's fucking everywhere. And I turned around, I looked up, and I just started laughing. There was not There wasn't anything.
Yeah,
I could
like
do.
what the fuck are you supposed to do about
My
it?
buddy Dan comes around the corner. And he's like, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, "Dude, my beet smoothie just exploded right
beet
behind me." And
First world problems.
I know
Dude,
that.
I'm telling you, like I wish I wish you could see it. I wish you could see
Should take a picture. Oh, you
the,
can't.
the spot of red. I mean, it looks like somebody put a gun in their mouth, pulled the trigger. Like it was splattered
Like
everywhere.
that gym T-shirt that he used to wear with
Oh,
the butterflies.
the butterfly, right.
Oh, that was such a cool T-shirt.
It was a crime scene, and it was everywhere. And it hit the ceiling with such force that on an adjacent ceiling, 6 to 8 feet away, there was spots of beet smoothie like 6 inches from the ceiling. So that means over the course of 6 to 8 feet, gravity was only able to pull that beet smoothie down about 6 inches because it was going so goddamn fast. Like, I want to recreate this. Like, I want to make another beet smoothie, leave it in the fridge for 2 weeks, then take it outside and watch it explode.
What do you do after that?
I get down on my hands and knees with wet paper towels and clean for like an hour and a half, and then I only got on the walls like clean off as far as I can
Smeared
reach.
it, like the party I had, somebody just smeared it all around.
No, I didn't smear it. I cleaned it. I did a really good job cleaning it, but I could only reach so high. So this morning, like I had to tell the guy that's in charge of our office. I invited him down. I was like, "So you want to hear a funny story?" And so he's like standing in front of me with the beet smoothie on the ceiling right behind me, and I'm telling him this story. And I said when I got to the part where it's like, and then it exploded, and then I just pointed up, and he looked. He was like, "Oh my god!"
I like how you set it up. Like
I did. I was like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna get in trouble for this, but I still don't like. You know, it sucks that I have to say that this happened, so might as well try to make it funny.
One time when one of my old jobs gave work gifts, and it was such a strange non-work related gift that it brought up, like, has your work handed out something that was just completely stupid? I used to work at VoiceStream, now T-Mobile,
Yeah.
and one year they came around with our yearly gift, and somebody, my manager, had in a nondescript box and you lift it up, and it's just a bunch of loose knives. They didn't say T-Mobile.
Shut up, really?
There was just like 20 different pocket knives and like switchblade
Like
type
random knives?
I remember that. I was working there too.
You got
when
it
they
too?
Did that,
They
yes.
did that at your store?
Yes. I 100% remember that. And they were
Why?
like cheap knives.
It was
like,
just they were just like jiggling around this box, and he walked around with everybody, and everybody got to pick up their own
I
knives.
remember that.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait a minute. So I'm sorry if I
They're
heard
like
it wrong.
pocket knives.
I was thinking that like you each got a box of random knives.
No.
But so it was one box that you had to pick your best
yeah,
your
and they
favorite
were all
knife?
different. They were all, some were smaller and some were bigger, and it was just like so totally
Wow.
random that we all just walked around with knives all day.
Yeah.
Why is that even a good idea?
No one has said.
And they weren't the same. Like they were all like different
they were all-
kinds,
they were
like
all
different
just
colors.
everything
Do you
was
think
different.
each store got the same package of knives? Like it was the same quantity, and it was like one Swiss Army knife, one this, and then it was just like everybody.
It's so I have no. It was. See, I worked in the city in the Inner Harbor, so I thought my manager was giving us
protection.
stuff for protection.
No, so and I remember like there was also a box of knives, and there was only like 4 of us that worked at that store, so I think we each got a couple. So I think they had like one box of them per store or something like that. That's so funny.
That's
it's
so
totally
weird.
random.
Yeah,
That would never. It would make still no sense, but slightly less if they would just said T-Mobile on them or something.
No, yes, I would think like something
They
like, you know,
completely.
like somebody just got a
We're
great
slashing
deal
prices.
on a ton of
Yeah,
hey, guess what? Next year we're slashing prices. Here's
you
a knife.
complain, we're slashing necks.
It's funny as you were saying that, I was like thinking, like I remember a couple gifts I've gotten. Like I got like a pretty decent soft shell jacket. I got a Yeti cup. I've gotten like some nice things, and I was thinking, I don't know if I would even remember if I've gotten like a shitty gift. because I probably would have just gotten rid of it or whatever. I would have never thought about that again in my life.
That's
so
awesome.
To our listeners, if you've ever had a really shitty employer gift,
please let
tweet
us know on any social media platform
at Jim Joe Steve, Twitter, Instagram,
Or if you've received any weird prison gifts.
Yes.
So last week I had I mentioned scurvy. I don't remember what we were
Scurvy.
talking
On
about.
my leg, because
yeah.
I thought I got scurvy on it.
So
Or the other week.
I realized that I didn't really know what scurvy was. Like, I knew it was a disease that like old like pirates and sailors used to get because they didn't have enough vitamin C,
Right.
Because they didn't have enough citrus, and I wasn't sure. I was so I googled what scurvy is. Listen to how fucked up this shit is. A disease caused by a deficiency of vitamin C, characterized by swollen, bleeding gums and opening of previously healed wounds, which particularly affected poorly nourished sailors until the end of the 18th century.
And all you had to do was drink orange juice every day.
And it'd stop. And then your scars would stop popping open.
it sounds a lot like meth mouth.
Is that what happens with meth mouth?
If you do meth.
They're like gums are always
He's just
bleeding.
a-
They're like picking. It looks like scurvy.
It's like,
Yeah,
so,
I know,
so if
scurvy-
you're going to do meth, have a glass of orange juice.
That's pretty crazy that shit fucks you up like that. You know, since we're talking about old episodes, at the end of one episode, not you two, I happened to not be there, but fucking Matt Ram made a joke about me sucking.
Did he for real?
Kinda.
He did, and he immediately regretted, said, and edited that out. And I was like, nope, not edited out.
So I'm thinking, fuck you, Matt Ram. We're going to fucking war, son. You're now my enemy, Matt Ram.
You just made the list.
No. Guess what? You and I are going to Peru, where I will then fight you from Christmas Day.
Peruvian Christmas Day fighting.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What was his joke? What did he say?
I don't know. I'm so mad about it, I forgot it. Sorry. I
I
got right into the mic, Jim. Sorry.
Yeah, you're hot over there.
Because I am hot.
So
Fuck Matt Ram.
when you talk loud, a little
Fuck Matt Ram. Fuck Matt Ram.
That's so funny. I'm gonna get an email from my mom tomorrow that says Steve's not really mad at Matt, is he?
So being that we were around the new year, a lot of people have, I'm sure, a New Year's resolution to lose some weight, right? I read something the other day that was so interesting, and this is aimed for the 70% of our listeners that are male, because we still are holding strong at 30% female.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks, ladies.
But I've read a statistic that said for every 35 pounds you lose, you gain 2 inches of your penis back. And if you want to reverse that, for every 35 to 50 pounds that you gain, you lose 2 inches of your penis.
So I will say,
I'd have a foot long.
I have gained weight, and I have been like, holy shit, that's true. I have to push it in. I was just, oh yeah, there's where the real magic happens.
And it's because your penis is attached to your abdomen wall. And of course, then if you gain weight and there's
it
fat
pushes
around
out,
that,
right.
so that hangs over that.
Huh.
Makes
So
total
if
sense
you've
to me.
never had the motivation before to lose weight, you could gain as
Bigger hog.
2 inches of penis.
We
by
need to
losing
pause real quick.
35.
I need to go throw up for a second.
There you go.
Good to know.
Fact of the day.
Hey, if you want to lose weight for the New Year's, you get a bigger Johnson.
For our listeners, we're trying something new. We're recording, and I keep looking over at myself, and it reminded me of something that happened earlier today, and I felt like this tickling on my forehead, and so I brushed it away, and then I felt this tickling again on my forehead. I brushed it away, and I realized that it's like a hair from probably where my widow's peak used to come before I started losing hair. And so I went to the bathroom to look at it. And I've always had like really wavy hair. I didn't, when my hair was long, during the popularity of bowl cuts, like I looked ridiculous because it would come down and then curl up on the sides.
Oh, Captain Crunch style.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I used to have Captain Crunch too.
Captain Crunch.
Because I have wavy hair too.
So I go to the bathroom, I look at this hair, and it is it's long, it's light, it falls, it's perfectly straight. It's all the hair that I ever wanted, except it's one all by itself, almost in the middle of my forehead.
And you didn't cut it?
I didn't. I don't want to cut this glorious piece of hair.
Dude, it's like
just
in
wanna
the
wave
middle
it
of your
off.
forehead now.
Can you see it?
Jesus.
No, I can't see it.
You
but-
miss
yeah, I
cutting
do see
that.
it.
I mean, that's 3
I can
haircuts
see where you're
at
pulling
least.
it.
Yeah, it's long. It's long, and it's perfect. It's straight. It blows in the wind.
Keep thinking something's in your Keep thinking something's in your contacts.
I want to braid it.
You gotta just mousse and gel that one.
Right, just spike it up.
You should back tease it like I used to do when I tried to look like Robert Smith.
Oh, good old fucking Robert Smith.
Jim does not like The Cure, but I've leaned in on him, and he
I
doesn't.
don't
He
hate
doesn't
The Cure.
hate him.
There,
You
Friday,
said that,
Friday,
you said,
I'm in love.
You
Is
said
that the,
you nothing them one time.
That's probably true. But Friday, I'm in love. If you catch me on the right sunny day, I won't turn it off the radio.
And it happens to be Friday on Valentine's Day.
Ooh. Yeah.
That sounds like a perfect day. Then right after that, Rebecca Black comes on.
Right, reminding that it's still Friday.
Do you remember I think it was a year and a half straight, you used to text me every Friday with the Rebecca Black video on YouTube at 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
You did it every Friday at 6 a.m. I'd wake up and I'd just see, because I'd click it because I'm just like, I know what it is. And
But maybe it's something
It's a funny
different.
bit, and everybody appreciates a good bit.
I read this article. A list of predictions made in 1923. It's pretty interesting. A list of predictions made in 1923 about 2023. So 100 years in the future, they were making these predictions as to what they thought life would be like in 2023.
Is it shit like the one meal pill?
So, some of them are a little ridiculous.
Flying cars.
Yeah. Like this one here, the average life of the man could be increased to 100 years, and individual cases could be increased to 150, perhaps 200 years. Things like that. Private kitchens will disappear. Tomorrow's food will be seasoned and prepared by chemical formulas, which will be preserved the freshness of fruits and meats, and goes on.
Wrong.
I don't know if that's wrong. I mean, there's lots of chemicals in our food, which we're now trying to rebel against.
Right.
I come from the guy that loves MREs.
God, I love watching MRE videos. I got back into that shit.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Fucking back into I jumped head first right back into MRE videos. Guys, sorry, Jim.
Yeah. Cancer will be eradicated. That was one
Womp
prediction.
womp.
Cancer was around 100 years ago.
Apparently.
Dude, cancer has been around forever. We just didn't know what it was until
The workday will be 4 hours long.
Oh god, it'd be so sized.
People will communicate using watch-sized radio telephones. That was pretty
That is
accurate.
true. Nailed that one. Could we just throw out random ideas of things that would be true in 100 years?
Somewhere along the line, somebody digs up a digital archive and goes, Jim
The
Joe
most
Steve
popular
show.
podcast of all time, when they were in their infancy, is
They made these 100-year predictions.
I'm gonna say that all the ice caps have melted and most of the planet's covered in water, and then we start growing gills.
Kevin Costner,
What do you mean?
Waterworld.
I know.
The worst movie ever. That might be. I think I
liked it.
walked out of that movie.
I liked that movie.
No, that even Kevin Costner hated that movie.
What do you think about it, Mr. Movie Reviewer? Little Stevie's Movie Corner. How did you feel about Waterworld?
so Waterworld it's stupid, but it's entertaining. I've watched it more than one time.
Yeah, I've watched it a bunch. I like it.
I think we will have flying cars
Totally.
in 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah. But they won't be yes. Agreed. But I was thinking that they're not going to be like the Jetsons where they were just like going up. Like they still have to have some sort of like normal propulsion, and they won't be able to just like fly around like bumper to bumper traffic like the Jetsons showed. Like it's going to have to be orchestrated. Like
So the cartoon wasn't accurate.
Right.
All right. So I will go more towards our Jim Joe Steve Show audience and say there will be sex robots.
Aren't there already sex robots?
Like fully, like you could just,
like you can have one
all
living
around.
with you
Yes.
and just bang it.
Wait a minute. You're just saying have another being, robot, have you may, and its purpose is just to fuck?
Yes.
But
it like lives in your house. It's like an AI.
But it doesn't do anything else?
It cleans probably, and it.
So you're describing the perfect wife. So
No.
So marriage is going to be eradicated.
I guess so.
If a guy can come home and have a robot cook for them, clean house, and have perfect sex, what else is there?
Companionship, Jim.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, you can't just take that robot to the movies and be
Well,
like.
if everyone else has
like-
has sex robots,
If
do
you're
you like Mission Impossible 22?
if you're married, Tom Cruise is still good in this one. If
He's
you're
still running.
if you're married, are you allowed to bang a sex robot?
ooh,
I mean, right now, probably no, but in 100 years, probably going to be acceptable. You ever watch Demolition Man?
No.
Steve has.
I don't think there are sex robots in that one. But
But I was just wondering if
they
you
put, I
seen
think
it.
they put like a little hat on. But there's a movie with sex robots.
All right. If your wife was 100% cool, 100% cool with it, sex robots,
He's already got it in his Amazon card. He's just waiting for her to say go.
got it on his wish list.
I mean, what's your question?
If she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you a sex robot,"
I mean, wouldn't you all say yes?
well, I'm asking you, Steve.
The answer for me is yes.
Okay, now what about if
Now,
she
wait,
got a
see-
sex
wait a
robot?
minute, hold on.
Steve would be like, but do I have to get rid of my fleshlight?
Hold on. Is it 100 years in the future?
No, it's right, just right now. Like,
No, they're all probably all ginky. They're like Max Headroom. They're like.
shouldn't they all be going? No, but like right now, it's the perfect one. It's the one that you would envision 100 years from now.
Okay. I
Did you
see
say it
that.
would be ginky?
Yeah, I made up that word.
Now, would you be okay if she was like, "I'm going to go ahead and get the male version"?
I mean, I guess I have to be if I got the girl one.
I mean, would you be jealous if you walk in and just see some perfectly chiseled robot with
God,
a
Steve would drink.
perfectly sized
Steve would drink
unit?
like 6 Hell or High watermelons and go beat that robot's ass.
And what
What are
about
you
your
doing with
wife?
my wife?
Like she brought the cookouts and shit.
I mean, you couldn't bring a robot to cook out.
I mean,
it's basically like Get Out.
Right, you can't bring robots to cookouts. They don't eat.
But they cook.
Yeah,
They cook,
yeah,
they
that's
cook
even a better point.
But they can play volleyball, cornhole. They can cook.
Oh
No.
God, they'd probably be the best cornhole players.
I would yell at it like Will Ferrell in Old School. Get on the ground, like Blue. Get on the ground and be like. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess so. I mean, you have to. You have to be
Everybody's
open
just
to
banging
it.
their sex robot.
People. I mean, I think that's what's gonna happen. I mean, you guys are picking like
It's a good prediction.
Joe was about to say alternative fuel sources or something like that. So I was like, we're not going down that road. I'm gonna go down
I was
the worst
definitely
road.
going to get into like hydrogen.
Yeah,
fuel
I
cells.
figured it was gonna go something like that. So I had to
Joe,
hijack
Joe
it.
forgot what we were doing here.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who our audience
No,
is.
but I'm enjoying this now. Do you think like your son's growing up and it's gonna be very similar, like finding dad's stack of Playboys? Like, oh, I'm gonna give dad
like
sex
it's
robot a
it's in
ride.
the closet, and then you like open up the closet and it's just staring at.
You'd have sex robot safes.
Yeah,
You'd
you would
have
have
like
to.
you'd have like code words to turn it on.
You'd have to have safe words.
Instead of a fingerprint, it could be a dick print that turns it on. Would you get the midget sex robot?
Oh,
They come in all shapes and sizes.
Right, like so you could get whatever you
could
wanted.
all right, so how about we
Whatever
all right,
fetish you were into, boom.
yes, and I feel like you'd have to be like, I can act on this fetish. Like some guys would have like a giant foot.
I don't know if it's the giant foot, right?
It's just a
they
good looking
like-
foot.
they just
Yeah,
like
it's
foot.
like the good looking.
They just
Jim
like
likes
foot.
nice feet.
Yeah, it's I appreciate it. Build your sex robot right now. Let us visualize you're perfect.
You look just like my wife.
Except it wants to have sex with me.
It actually
and,
looks.
and it cooks. He said it cooks.
But I mean, if you think about it, if you had a robot that would just cook and clean up, and then you would have sex with it, wouldn't that alleviate like most marital problems?
Yeah, I think so.
Like it would just make everybody happier too.
Yeah, the wife that doesn't want to have sex,
Yeah,
she doesn't have to.
yeah, she doesn't have to. You
The
got
guy
a
still gets
robot
his
that's
rocks
always
off.
going to say yes. Just had to clean it out with the hose afterwards.
Well, that's gonna be it. It's like, can you clean my sex robot? What?
Yeah, I know. It'd be like, sex robot, clean yourself.
Go connect yourself
I know.
to the hose.
Now tell me about new renewable energy, Joe. What would your thing be?
Well, what
my prediction?
Maybe it runs on hydrogen.
Yeah. I would have a solar power one.
I think all farming is going to be moved indoors.
God, think something better than that.
They already do that at Disney World. You ever gone to Disney World?
Yeah, Epcot Center. They have a whole fucking thing of all vegetables.
That
grown
is
inside.
actually interesting.
I think that's the future of farming.
Yeah.
If you've never been on that ride in Disney World, one of the fascinating things is they grow shit without dirt. It just hangs.
It just hangs.
Yeah.
And
Like
they just rotate.
Topsy-turvy.
Yeah, they just spray it with the nutrients that it needs.
Yep.
And you just see the roots hanging down and these perfectly tomatoes busting out like 100 tomatoes a plant and shit.
Yep.
All right, I'll do another one. A sex robot made out of renewable vegetables.
For the vegans.
Yeah, for the vegans.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to another week of Jim, Joe, Steve Show. Follow us on
Instagram, Facebook. Instagram, Facebook, and
Twitter.
at Jim, Joe, Steve.
All right. For the Jim, Joe, Steve Show, my name's Joe.
I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't